Yo, what's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the Gurren Otaku Council podcast. As always, I'm your host Ace, and that is my friend McMillian. And today, everybody, we got a special one for you, everybody. This is episode 95, and today we got our My Hero character tier list, everybody. And of course, well, not actually much more today, just that.
Yeah.
But before we get to all that, if you'd like to join me, my friend McMillian, as we discuss all things anime and sometimes manga, then please make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, as well as follow us on our social media so you stay up to date on all things about the council. Ladies and gentlemen, the council is now in session. Let the meeting begin. All right, everybody. As always, thanks for joining us for another week. Hope everybody's doing super fantastic. How you doing today, McMillian?
I'm doing great, my friend. Hope you're doing well as well.
All right. Well, why don't you go ahead and let everybody know how we do this every day. Why don't you go ahead and take it away?
For the agenda for today, or well, I should say council announcements for agenda. Our last episode, Spring Cleaning, which featured two reviews of series that had their first seasons in the spring season of this year, released last week. So if you haven't seen that, go ahead and check that out. And One Piece 11:15 review / reaction from Ace should be up, I believe, right? Yeah. So
All right. And so as McMillian was just saying, the One Piece 15 is going to be up, but just a small note on that as well. The reaction for that one is not going to be here because I lost it due to file corruption. So we won't have 11:15 reaction. It's just review this week, but still come in, enjoy the discussion, everybody. As well as let's go ahead and get this kicked off, everybody. So for today's episode, we got our My Hero character tier list, as well as we're going to be giving out the weekly recommendation at the end. But once again, we're going to be kicking off with our My Hero tier list here. And our boy McMillian is going to be, manning the station over here. And I'm going to hand it off to him. He's going to go ahead and get us on started.
Okay. All right. So just to start, just to give everyone background, we're not doing all the characters you see here. We're going from All Might down to Muscular. Everybody else, we just was like, we didn't really care to rank them. Maybe we might do to come back like at the end of the series and actually like do a whole big thing or whatever. But for now, just from All Might down to Muscular. So just so everyone's aware. Now, to get us started, Mr. I Am Here himself, All Might. What are we thinking?
I mean, we can't do no less than at least A, right?
I would think.
I guess the real question is, are we putting him in S tier? Are we giving it to him? All Might, the hero, the symbol of hero. Good, all that is good in the world. Are we just getting him the straight S tier right off the bat?
Now, I would like to say, prefaces for those that watch it in the future. By the time we made this is only when episode 150, I believe, is out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if he has done something later, if we rank him lower than what people should expect due to either manga knowledge or further anime knowledge, because you're watching this after the next episode come out, and he just popped off or some shit. That's not on us. We didn't have the information until
I don't think we'll get debunked next episode, because I think next episode is my Deku versus Shigaraki. So All Might shouldn't be doing that the next episode.
I'm just saying, if he do somehow just end up popping out and show motherfuckers, then hey, that's down us. That was the future.
so stop holding back. What we doing, man? Is we give him the S tier or not?
I think A. Personally, okay. For me, I like him. I do like him, but I don't think. Besides, my favorite moment of his is when he fought One for All, or All for One. That time, I think when like
that was your favorite moment from him.
I'm personally United States.
You talking about when he defeated All for One, technically, like for that second time again, right?
Yeah,
that's what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
When he pulled out the reversal and then he pointed to Deku, and everybody thought he was pointing at the cameras, basically being like, I still got it," but in reality, he was like, "Hey, you next,
You're
bro."
next, yeah.
Yeah, like that was like my favorite moment of his. And I don't think he's really done anything to kind
I
of
mean, he hasn't really done
surpass
much since then, just
that.
but be emotional support,
And
right?
he's been great in that role.
He
Like I
has
don't
been
want to
wonderful. He has been wonderful.
like discredit him or anything like that, but like for me, that was the pinnacle right there. Um, so I guess I'm just waiting to see what else could happen. But so for me, that's like A tier at least.
Well, all right, well, there you go. Slide him in there.
All right.
Slide him in there. And now this can we come back to Deku? We ain't gonna rate Deku right off the bat.
Okay.
We got to come back to him. We
Do we want
the big three. We're gonna
the
come
big
back to
three?
them. We're gonna come back
Okay.
to them. We
All
can't
right.
we can't rate them right off the bat, right? We're gonna come back to them. All right, so let's start off with him.
All right. So this Kaminari, Electric Boy.
I like Kaminari.
I do like Kaminari. I don't like them nerfing him, but I do like him
Yeah. The nerf wasn't all that.
because
For
Kaminari
me,
has.
he's B or C ish. I'm gonna go ahead and throw that out there.
Okay.
I think he's
I don't.
cool. He hasn't really gotten like out of all the class 1A characters, he hasn't really gotten a chance to shine per se as much as everybody else, right?
Yeah.
Because like other people had better moments than him besides like the big three. So for example, Osaka, she's getting more screen time. Hell, Froggy's getting more screen time than this nigga.
Yeah.
Old boy with the
Tokoyama.
engines, I can't remember him. Yeah, then Tokyo. Yeah, so it's like it is many other people that's getting more screen time than him. From class 1A. Maybe I guess we can throw him in C, right? I'll put him in C.
Yeah, I think I'd put him in C as well.
I don't
so
dislike him.
There.
They might have to just be a shitty character to get anything below a C for me personally.
I mean, for me, I think the only thing that upsets me about
Do we got
Kaminari,
2 Fs on here? Can we delete the F?
No, we have one F.
What is that? E?
Yeah.
Oh, delete that E. I'm blind. We don't need E.
Okay.
We don't need no E.
Delete, bro.
Yeah, let's keep going.
Okay. Only thing I was about to say for Kaminari, he has his quirk is electricity that is usually like a main character power, and and they just kind of ruined my boy. Like
He
right
is
now,
not a main character.
what was I like right now? I think isn't he? I believe he's helping supply power to the floating island or whatever.
Power to the fortress in the sky right now, or the
Crazy.
prison in the sky, I believe is what they call it.
Yeah. Crazy.
Crazy. Or tomb in the sky. Something. It's something in the sky.
A tomb. Yeah, I think it might be tomb in the sky, which is it's so funny that they called it that, and they're the heroes because that's a villain ass name for something. But okay, next up we got Kirishima, or if I'm not mistaken, his hero name is like Red Riot or Red Riot 2. I like him. I'd put him in B personally because
there you go. I was just about to say slap him in B. I think he's a nice character. He had his moments as well during the what was this man's name? I can't think of his name right now, but old boy, yeah, there you go. You already know during that arc right there. Yep. He had his moments. So I was like, all right. And like you said, I like him as well. His quirk isn't all that, but he uses it well though, right?
Yeah.
He uses it how it's supposed to be used to the best of his abilities. In my opinion.
I think he embodies what a lot of people say about like, well, the kind of what my hero's thing is a little bit like where it's like it's not the quirk, it's how you use it or like. Correct. The person who has it kind of thing.
Correct.
So, yeah.
100%.
All right. Next up, we have Tokoyami.
Go ahead, slap my... I damn near want to say slap him in S, but we might have to come back for the S tier rating, but definitely slap him in A, right? He's just the truth, right? Probably has the most potential out of class 1A besides the big three.
I was actually going to say that. I was actually going to put him in A. I like his character. I like the moments they've given him. He's a solid guy all around. I think his powers are really interesting. And granted, I don't know how like the series ends, and like if we get a vignette of like what the future characters are doing now, but I'm pretty sure he's gonna be a really cool character.
So. I'm with you on there.
All right. Next up we got Tape Boy. I forget his hold on, wait, let me Let me find his name.
This man called him Tape Boy.
He shoot tape out of his
Hunter
elbow.
Zero.
Oh shoot! And I mean to bump my mic. I do apologize.
His name
Hunter
is
Zero.
Zero. Yes.
Yeah.
My boy said Tape Boy. I
He
cannot
shoot tape.
believe
He shoot tape out of his
he
arms.
might have to be the first D character here. I mean, just utterly useless. My man is a Walmart Spider-Man. He can't even beat that, right? Utterly useless. Throw him in D tier.
I want to disagree with you, but I can't. I can't. He is legitimately bargain bin kind of Spider-Man. They even have him doing Spider-Man poses. I think at one point during while he's swinging. And other than that, I really don't know what other thing he brings to the
can't
team.
even fit the Spider-Man role right. Get him out of here.
Yep. Okay. Next up, we got Koji Koda. This is the guy who can talk to bugs, from what I remember.
Well, he can talk to animals as well.
Is
right?
it animals?
Not
Yeah,
just bugs.
animals. That's right.
Yeah.
It's just I just remember one of his most memorable uses of his powers when he had bugs come out of nowhere and fuck shit up.
I mean, he doesn't really do much either. I want to throw him in D just because he doesn't really do much. But me personally, even though his power isn't necessarily that useful. Okay. Well, let me take that back. In the grand scheme of things, his power probably could really actually be useful, and I do think it's actually kind of cool. At the most, I would say slap him in C tier because I mean, talking animals is kind of cool, right?
I mean, yes, but I don't. In my opinion, I don't think it's a cool enough power to carry you up a tier. So I'd probably say put him in D.
Okay, well there we go.
Because I don't think they don't give him.
He doesn't really have a signature moment either. So I mean,
yeah, that's why I'm I kind of gotta go with that.
There we go. Right.
Next up, Rikudo Sato. This is the guy who gets
Crush.
Yeah, Sugar
I
Crush.
think it's his hero name.
Or Sugar Rush.
Sugar Rush. There we go. Yeah.
One of the two. I want to. I'm torn between C and D because C because the small amount of time he's actually had speaking roles or done stuff, I've liked it, but also D kind of for the same reason Coda is in D.
It's just not enough to move up a tier.
Yeah, it's not enough there for him.
Is there anything saving him from the F tier?
I mean, I don't hate him.
Okay.
F to me is I don't get any enjoyment from you. D to me is I mean, you're there.
You're there. Okay, you're there. Oh, okay, and he is there. All right, well, I agree. He is there. I mean, his quirk just taking sugar and he's getting a boost of energy and strength as well. Not really much. Walmart Popeyes, right? I don't know what we're doing here. I agree. D, right? just put him in D.
Okay. All right, D it is. All right, next up, Ojiro Mashiro or Mashi. Wow.
Now, even though he doesn't do much, I will say he does more than these motherfuckers we got in D right now.
Which is crazy.
At least has to be a C tier, right? Because his abilities and all that just gives him a lion tail. But I mean, he knows martial arts and he be out there working.
Yeah, I was about to say he do. That's why I was about to say I he don't even really get that much I think memorable moments and stuff like that. Other than the fact that everybody else got some interesting powers, and his is I got a really strong tail, and I can box niggas. Okay, all right, cool. So he do be showing out, and I gotta put respect on his name for just having a tail. So I'll probably let's see. I don't got no problem with that. All right, next up, Momo.
Okay.
This one.
Okay. A hard B for me, maybe. Right.
Hard B.
Very, very, very useful ability. Right. The ability just to create any goddamn thing. Right. OP. And she does have her moments mainly in just in those moments just come in just having the right type of tool or whatever helps them in this situation because she can create anything, right? So cool, but because of that have her do enough, right?
Hmm. Okay. So for me, I'd probably also put her in B. Besides like the power, I think she's an interesting character. I really just don't like halfway through they kind of stopped giving focus to some of these other people. But Momo, I think, had a really cool like moment because she, how was it during like, I think the when they were fighting against teachers, her and Todoroki had to team up against All Might,
Mm,
and she felt like she was just gonna slow him down, but she actually came up with a really great strategy, and they ended up winning. And for that, and since then, I was like, okay, this character's cool. I would like to see her grow more. Oh, I don't know. Okay, all right. Yeah, whatever, I guess. But I still think like she's been very prevalent throughout the series and very still an interesting character, even though they don't give much to her. So I'd probably put her,
100%.
yeah, still put her in B. Okay, next up is
And so
Jiro
since you're the one
Kyoka.
controlling this now, you let me know when you're ready to go back to the big three. We just couldn't do them first, but whenever you're ready for them,
Oh, okay. I thought we were just
you
gonna save
just
them
head
for
back
the
over
end.
there. I
I
mean
thought we were just gonna say, well,
that's cool with me too.
not the full end, but like the end of Class 1A. That's what I was thinking.
Okay.
Okay, so next up, Jiro Kyoka,
Mm-hmm.
the girl with the
With
headphone
the
ears.
headphone ears. I mean, me
I
personally, I
like
don't
her.
even have much to say about her at all. I do think her ability is cool. What she can a recon type hero.
She can increase her
And
hearing.
hmm
Yeah, by jacking in, she can hear. She can listen in on stuff, but also like she. Granted, this isn't her power, but she has like a hero gear where if she plugs her ears into it, like she can send out sound waves and other
sound
stuff.
waves and stuff. Yeah,
Yeah, I've liked it in concept because at first I wasn't like I was like, how does that work? But she can, besides just doing that, she can also use them to attack people.
yeah, which is kind of
Um,
cool.
yeah,
Sound wave based attacks.
I I'm feeling her like high C, low B area. That's kind of where she is to me.
Yeah, me personally, I probably slide her in C. That's
Okay,
just me personally. But if you have her like low B, I can understand.
right. Well, we still got her in C somewhere. Like I said, high C. Look right
Okay.
there. All right, Ochako. East side. What's up, face? Tell me, what you
I
got?
don't know how you give her such an interesting ability, but then just make her such not an interesting character. Me personally, I don't really
Hmm.
care for Osaka at all. I mean, she has her moments every now and then, but I mean, I don't know, man. It's just the typical, the heroine that's in love with the MC. But I don't know if this one actually adds anything to the story. In my humble opinion, I mean, other people can probably have, different opinions, but um, nah, I mean, I just throw away in my opinion. I ain't got nothing to deal with her.
I mean, she talked Deku technically back. I mean, it was all of them, but she like gave like the end speech. I thought, I think her power is very cool. I think the way they had her use it now more after like she went off and did that was the internship with that really like the gun hero or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
That up in your face motherfucker, and she came back with like ninjutsu and started throwing shit at people. I thought that was really cool. Um, I do agree though. After a while, they kind of just made her thing. I like Deku.
I like
Um,
Deku.
and because she likes Deku, she's Toga's like rival or arch nemesis.
Let me put it like this. Let me put it like this. You know how people say Sakura is useless. I think she's even more useless than Sakura.
Oh, I don't know if I agree with. I don't. I've stopped agreeing with the Sakura useless things a while ago, but I
I'm
definitely
just
don't.
saying, that's a sentiment among the
Hmm.
community. I'm just saying, me personally, I think she's even more useless than Sakura. Even though me personally, I don't even think that Sakura is that useless, right? But I'm just saying, in the grand scheme of things, I'm just using it as like a comparison.
Example. No, I get
Yeah.
you. I get you. I was about to say like I don't know if I fully. I don't know if I fully agree with that because, like I said, she has really good moments in my opinion. Like there are.
What really good besides Besides the bringing Deku back, name me another moment.
When they fought, when they were doing the class 1A, class 1B, like fight against each other. I think that was like her first time picking up a car and hitting people with it. There's the moments when she fought. I forget if she fought against who exactly she fought against, but there was a moment when they
You
were
talking about
going
old
against
girl when it was
Overhaul,
in when it was going against
and
Overhaul.
when they were like doing the mission against Overhaul, and
Mhm.
they, they were her and Froppy were uh taking out the other side, I think, of like the base, and they fought and they had to fight somebody. I just forget like who it
I'm gonna
was.
be completely honest with you. I don't recall that at all. That's just how forgettable. If she did had a moment like that in the overall
He
arc, I
said,
don't recall it at all. At all.
okay.
Zero like recollection. If she did have a moment like that, I thought you was gonna refer to the moment where she was fighting old girl, the one who, transforms by drinking the blood in that house. That's what I thought you was talking about.
That's such a. I mean, that's not bad, but it's such a small thing. They didn't even get to finish the fight. Was my thing.
Me personally, throw in D tier, hell, maybe even F
And
tier.
D.
In
Oh
F
my.
tier.
And
That's just
F.
me. That's just me personally. Like I said,
No, and
even more useless than Sakura. Throw her
no,
away.
enjoy. I think I gotta put my foot down on this one. I don't think F. I don't think F. I was going to say a minute. I was like, I think if anything, like low C. But
Okay.
how do we low C?
I mean, well, this is up. Listen. I gave my thoughts. I would throw her in the
I
trash. If you think she's a C, then just put
I
a C.
I mean, like with that, I feel like in between that, if you bringing her score way down, I feel like I gotta put her in D.
Then there you go. Then slap her in D. That made me feel a little bit better.
Oh, this hurts. Well, it hurts mostly because I feel like you know when like a character is wasted. Basically, that's all I gotta say. Because
I feel you.
I think we both agree like her power is interesting. She even has like a interesting backstory, or not backstory, but like her take on heroism is different than everybody's because she sees it as a way potentially to get her family out of poverty, while everybody else is like, I look up to heroes. She's like, nigga, I need this money.
Shmoney,
I mean, like,
shmoney.
she's like, I get that. I agree. Heroes are cool, but also that dollar, the dollar.
Feel you.
um. Okay. Next up, this we have Mina Ashido. Um. Outside of vibes, I don't care for this character. Outside of vibes, I think she's great. I think she's cool, but other than that,
Yeah, I mean, hell, I mean, if I gave Osaka a D, right? I mean, I'm with you there. Outside of vibes, not much, right? The quirk, what slime?
the
Acid
acid
slime.
slime or
I'm not
something
gonna
like that.
say necessarily useless, but
No, it's a really cool quirk. The only thing is like she can't project. She can't like shoot it or anything. Like it technically
I
just
thought
comes
she
out of.
could now. That was part of her
Well, I thought
training.
because she can she can it's longer, but I'm saying like it's not like she can 100% like aim it. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
it's not like for instance, I guess
like
the
a
best
good sniper. Like she ain't
she can't
sniping
like shoot it
motherfuckers
or
with her
anything.
acid.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was gonna say like you know how like Spider-Man can direct his like web
webs and
shots,
stuff.
right?
Yeah,
Like she can't technically do that. She can like glob it
aim
up
it
and
in
like.
a general direction.
Mhm.
I get what you're saying. Yeah,
Uh,
I think we just got to slide her in D.
yeah.
Now, this
uh,
guy, I think he
Shoji
should have.
Mezzo,
I think he should have
Mezzo
had more
Shoji.
screen time than
Yes,
he's given, because the one, just the ability to fly is cool in general, but just I don't even know what we call this guy, right? Just the ability to
I
change,
forget his
move
hero
your limbs to like different parts of your bodies and stuff,
and have different like
and have different body parts. Like that's
parts. Yeah,
cool,
I no, I think it's great. I just I
but
feel
he
like the
doesn't
only
get to
reason
do
he's
much.
not.
So I think I'll have to throw him in C.
Yeah, I was about to say I think the only reason he's not like used that much is because his quirk is slightly disgusting. I get that, but like, and well, that and also this is obviously like a side type of character, unfortunately. But like got a really
And
interesting
then
power.
some people might say, well, you'll throw him in C, but have these other characters in D. Yes, I think he's cool, and that's enough for me. That's enough for me.
Hey, when he show up, he show up. They gave him some spot. They gave him some spotlight in the movies. They didn't give these people spotlight in the movies, okay? Like, and again, I know you're like Ochaka indeed, but like also, I think based on what we said, yeah, it kind of
All right, now
our channel, our rules.
my boy. As much as I like him, also borderline useless. He's here for a comedic release. I almost compared him. I'm not even gonna say that because that would be disrespectful. I'm just gonna keep that. I'm just gonna keep that comment to myself.
Okay,
Because I'm not even gonna do my boy like that, right? I'm just gonna
all
keep
right.
that comment to myself. But Minato, Minato, Minato,
Mineta,
Mineta.
Mineta,
There we go. I was about to
Mineta.
say I know I'm pronouncing his name, bro.
You said everything.
Mineta.
You said everything around, but Mineta.
Mineta. This man, I mean, if I'm talking about Osaka being useless, right? I don't know how you can get more useless than this guy.
Unfortunately, yeah. I did for the longest time. Sometimes he makes me laugh. Other times
Like
I'm
the
just
only
like,
thing
I
that
don't
could
know.
bump him up from the D tier or even from the F tier if we didn't just want to put him in the F tier, right? Would just be just maybe maybe he's like funny every now and then, but even then his gag gets a little old, right?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Like I was like, he's funny here and there, but the fun like it's not enough to sustain it. I think I gotta put him in F, in my
Well, there
opinion,
we go.
personal opinion.
First F tier. Hey,
Because
I'm
like
cool with that.
there are legitimate times when he is not providing anything, like no entertainment,
No,
negative
like
entertainment
zero,
sometimes. So
zero.
like, I just yeah,
Throw him in there. There we go.
Ida.
Ida,
I like
yeah,
Ida. I like Ida. I
Ida.
just
At least
again
B, but I'm now we at least for me it's a B. But I mean maybe top me up to A, but that's
no.
good.
I was gonna say I would also agree B. I he had strong potential to be A,
Yeah, he did.
but after this became Midoriya, Bakugo, and Shoto
Shoto's
show,
show, yeah.
like it was quits on my boy. They was
Yeah,
not giving him
after that first season and then that Stain Killer arc, old boy just said, "Ida, yeah, we don't care about you anymore."
no more. Yeah, because I liked his thing. I thought it was interesting to have a speedster, but to have
Yeah,
him to have a caveat of like he can overheat or like
yeah.
others. I thought that was really I thought that was interesting. I thought that was really cool.
And then also, the way they did it, he just didn't give him super speed by like giving him like lightning powers or something like that or
Hmm.
sound based powers.
He
It's
had
more,
engines
he's
in
a
his leg,
hinges
like
in his leg, right?
it's such an odd thing, right? But
Creative.
like, yeah. So yeah, I think I think at least for me it's a B.
Yeah, no, that's what I said. I was at least a B for me, but I thought you was gonna talk me up to an A. But no, okay,
No,
but
I don't think
you with me?
I don't think he's at A. Like I don't get as I like again, really early on, solid character, really solid
Hmm.
character. But he to me, like the so far, like All Might and Tokiyami, I think the thing that separates them being an A is that they've been kind of solid throughout, if
For
that makes
sure.
sense.
I feel you.
Like they've just been really good characters throughout. Like even when Tokiyami wasn't that big, the Dark Shadow, like for instance, the Dark Shadow shit, it
Hmm.
during the camping exercise, I was like, what the fuck? like, bro, what the hell? Like that
Yeah.
was just
No, I feel
great.
you.
Okay.
Damn. Do we have?
Hagakure.
Is it D or F? Is it D or F?
That,
Talk to
that-
me.
I'm glad you said that. Because I'm gonna be real, Hagakure also is like Mineta. Not as
She's
in
just
like annoying, but more so like what does she bring to
because
the
I mean,
table?
if you're going by your earlier logic with D just being there, she is just there.
Just there.
But
That is
now, really,
like
does she bring something while she's there as well?
the
Though
the
is the
long.
true question.
And I'm not saying this in a I know I just said probably like the biggest misogynistic line. I'm not like that, obviously, but for this character specifically, the most useful thing they did happened within the end of the show, which was reveal the traitor in Class 1A,
Yeah,
and
I don't think that's enough.
that's just one thing.
And
One
that's
thing.
out of what 7 seasons? Are we slapping her down there in F with Mina?
The
Are we
coolest
doing it?
The coolest thing about probably I will say this: the coolest thing about her power is that it is complete light refraction. So, like for instance,
Yeah.
when she technically would jump in front of that laser from old boy, it just bounced off her skin. I was like, okay, that's raw as hell. I did not realize it was that. It was like that.
No, I feel you, but are you going? But is
That's
that
not
one
enough to save her.
moment? Is that one
Exactly.
moment gonna save her from the F
Exactly.
tier?
No, no, that's exactly what I'm saying. I was like, she got one,
She
but
got
it's
one.
it's not strong enough.
It's not. I feel you. Throw her in there. Slap her in there. Okay. I didn't
Oh,
think we was gonna have anybody in the F tier. We got two.
all right, Froppy,
Throw her in there.
Asui. This is another character. To me, this is another character where it's almost like in between. Like
Me personally,
I
I
feel like
want to
C.
say in between C and D, but I feel like Froki is as shocking as this is about to sound. She has done more than what Osaka has done, in my opinion. Like she
Yeah,
has
no,
shown up
that's what I was
saving
gonna
more
say.
people, and even though even in majority of times, whenever Osaku has a moment, Froki's right in that moment as well, right? Like it's kind of like they have their moments together,
Yeah.
except for like that one time when old girl was in the house. But then Froki ended up coming at the end anyways. But
Mhm. No, they're like best friends.
I-
I was gonna say like Froppy's interesting, because they honestly to take a quirk as like disgusting as frog person, and
yeah,
to make it as useful as they have and cool as they have, I thought has been really cool. And I just generally like her as a character. She has like
yeah.
no bad vibes.
No, it's cool.
Um,
Yeah, chilling.
yeah, so I
I'd slap in
see.
there. See, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. Okay. All right. The last one before the
he also. I mean, Aoyama is either to me D or F, and
we are like locked in right now.
and I almost want to give him D because I like
I
him
was about
a
to
lot
say
more
I
than
do think the whole situation with All Might going on with like him All Might like controlling his film. I do think that moment is enough to keep him in D, in my opinion.
yes, and but I was also about to say like as it's funny to me because like you would look at Aoyama and the shit he's done and be like he's annoying, but for some reason to me he has not annoyed me as much as Mineta or other people.
I mean, I guess
And
it's because he doesn't really have that much screen time.
meantime, probably right. They he knew
So
just
he hasn't
enough.
gotten really chances to annoy you, right?
It's like they did it just enough.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Slap him in there. There we go, D. I agree.
All right.
All
Now
right.
the big three, not the big three, but the
The big
the main
three.
characters of My Hero.
We can do Deku
You
last.
want to start with Deku? Oh,
Yeah,
Deku
we can
last.
do
Okay.
Deku last. Throw my boy Shoto in this tier, man. Stop playing with me. Just gonna throw him up
All
there.
right. I was gonna say nothing.
Fire and
Besides
fire and ice. Need I
ice.
say
Okay.
yes?
Cool. One of the coolest power sets ever. The way they do it, amazing.
Yes.
But besides that, probably one of the most interesting characters, if not the most interesting character in the show. Besides like Midoriya, like Shoto has every making of a protagonist. Dark
Yes.
backstory.
This could have been
Uh,
about him.
Yeah, it's like dark backstory has some of, if not the most character growth out of any character that is not Midoriya. Like he has legitimately skin in the game because his brother is a one of, if not the, besides Shigaraki and All for One, the most fearsome villain.
There you
Like
go.
he's all around just a good character, and even when he when they make him like do comedic moments, he got that dry humor and it worked. Like he got everything.
Yeah. He's the Sasuke of the group essentially, and I mean it's working out for him, right?
Mhm.
It's working out for him. And then, like I said, near that list, he already mentioned it, but fire and ice, right? Kind of one of the coolest power sets ever. And then, like he said, how they do it, I love how he does. The author goes about writing him, right? I'm not even gonna get into his backstory because, like Millen just said, one of the best backstories, in in the series, right?
In the show.
S tier, S tier.
Hell, like people like his and Midoriya's episodes is what made some people watch this
Watch,
show.
yes,
So yeah.
100%. 100%.
Bakugo.
Mm, mm.
He's
What you
the
think?
I'm gonna be real with you. He's either B or A for me. Um,
Okay, so we are like we are in sync. Okay, because I was gonna say the same thing, either B or A. I think
and and I like his character, but like also at the same time, as much as I like Bakugo, he also gets on my last nerve.
he does, but I mean, he's coming around though, right?
He
Because I
is.
mean, he
He
is
is.
coming
I don't.
around. You know, he's starting to actually realize that okay, I know I've been messing with Deku just because essentially Deku's in the spot that I really wanted to be in the entire time, right? Especially after he found out that he got his powers from All Might, because at that point he
Yeah.
was like, "Oh wait a minute!" Like,
Yeah. Like
you-
he's had some very interesting like development, and I don't hate him. Like I did not like him at all in the beginning, but now like he's grown on me. I guess it's the only problem is like I don't like crash out tendency people, and Bakugo is still very much crash out leaning.
I'm
that
with you
man,
there.
that
I'm with
man,
you there.
he sometimes he's just too much for me, and that's why I'm like I
I'm with you
almost want to
there.
put him in B.
Part of the big three. So he does get a lot of screen time, but that doesn't
Mhm.
mean we have to like him though. And I'm with you there. He isn't the my favorite character either. I was gonna probably say I thought you was gonna talk me up to A, so probably had to agree with you as well and just throw him in B. Yeah. I
I
mean, he
be
does have some of the best moments in the series as
sure,
well,
yeah,
but
no,
once again,
he's
that's because he's part of the big three. But I do agree with you as well. At the beginning of the series, I really didn't like him that much, right? He's the annoying. I hate the other main in the MC, the rival type person, right? Um,
mhm,
but how they was doing it, I mean, you basically could already see how that situation was really gonna go,
yeah.
right? And it really played out just how I thought it was gonna play out.
Mhm.
And what I'm referring to is Deku and Bakugo's relationship,
And
right?
shit. Yeah. No, it was
Um,
very you could if you've watched enough stuff, you could definitely call how shit was gonna shake with them.
yeah.
Another thing that kind of well, I know we technically are Reiko, but like something that also kind of makes Bakugo a little bit under like A or S for me is just that like sometimes it feels like the story is really trying to force
Him in
like me
there.
to like it
Yeah,
or
and I
like
guess
him.
that's kind of,
Like
and I think that was kind of what you were saying with last episode too, with kind of like how Ed Shot just basically threw everything away to go immediately and start saving
in
Bakugo.
middle of a fight. In the middle of a fight against evil incarnate, I have to save this child. And again, like I said in the episode, I get it. It's a kid, but
Yeah.
we are legitimately on the battlefield. Like, come on now. And then also like the ending of My Hero, the second movie when they
Mm-hmm.
both had off one for
Awful ones,
all
yeah.
for one. I mean, no, one for all. And I was just like, all right, like this is contradictory to what how the power works in the first fucking place.
Yeah.
So
And then
yeah,
now that turns out that they may be canon due to that whole his whole life profession for his eye scene that we got with All Might spirit that looked like it was inside this man.
hmm so yeah. All right, moving on.
But I'm glad we was on the
Midoriya.
same page with that.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
okay. So know what this is. We finna get into a real conversation right here.
I figured this is gonna be it.
How do you really honestly truly feel about this man as a main character, right? Because I mean, as far as
I
main
have
characters go, I mean, like I don't hate him, and then like I'm trying to see, and like I don't even hate the fact that he like cries, right? Because I mean, me personally, one, he's a middle schooler, and then two, going through the things that this man has been going through. Okay, it's understandable. A few sheer tears might get
some
shed
people
here
are
and there.
emotional.
You feel me?
Some people are emotional.
That part as well.
I don't fully blame it against him. The only time I was like blaming it like ever held Midoriya's crying against him is when certain stuff happened where I'm like, okay, like last season you fought against these prison guards. I don't think you really should be teary eyed for something less than that. But hey, that's your character. We can move on. Um, for me, I don't even think he's a bad main character. That's something.
No, hands down. I don't think he's bad at all.
The only thing I would probably say that I kind of don't like about Midoriya sometimes is that he's very predictable of a character. Like his most interesting arc to me was probably like when he went like AWOL or
AWOL,
vigilante.
yes.
And even
Yes.
then, and even that, I knew I was like, okay, we only go get this for a little bit, and that wasn't necessarily like his fault. That was like a writing thing, and if you didn't expect it to, and it wasn't like a bad thing either. Like if you can
Mhm.
predict, just because it's predictable doesn't mean it's bad. But it's more of just like this. I don't know fully what I want to say, but like it's just with Midori, everything's laid out in front of me. There's not really much like I don't see. I guess is what I'm saying. Like there's nothing really to the imagination. The characters, what you got. Not saying he's
Mhm.
bad or
Mhm.
anything like that because he has grown and stuff. But for the most part, like he doesn't bring anything new to the table as far as like I guess a anime MC. Like the most interesting thing about him, he grew up without a quirk and he then was able to get one and stuff like that. But other than that, they don't really focus on that after like the first season.
I
Um,
mean, they focus on it, here and there through,
but I'm
subliminal
saying like
messages
it
and things
doesn't.
of that nature, right?
But I'm saying like it doesn't. To me, it doesn't fully like play a part. I guess in his story as much as I thought it might have. Like the
What,
biggest
him being
thing,
quirkless?
yeah. Because well, like think about it. Because after he gets it,
I
it's
mean, well,
kind
I
of
guess
just
not
like
at this point because yeah, I mean, like after he gets it, he starts, training to mastering and all that stuff, right?
yeah.
So I guess him being quirkless technically isn't like in the grand scheme of things a major thing, other
But I
than
thought it would have.
just him becoming the. I guess unless you want to say like the in the overall grand scheme of things, right? It to truly become one of the person who became one of the greatest heroes ever was a quirkless person, right? He was born
I mean,
quirkless,
that's
but yet he was still
yeah.
able to become the greatest hero ever. I mean, part of like that messaging, maybe, right? Other than that, I don't. I guess it really isn't. Like you said, it's not really that important in the grand
Hmm.
scheme of things.
I just thought it would like have impacted some stuff more, if that makes sense. But
In what way? Like, as in, like character building.
maybe potentially. Um, but has outlook on necessarily like hero society and stuff like that. Because
Mm-hmm.
when we get later in, we find out there's a bit of corruption in the hero society and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. And I don't think we really ever get to full like see how Midoriya sits with that as a person who
Yeah,
worships
and then with that, it wasn't
heroes.
necessarily because of quirkless people. It was more due to the fact that people, one, not just people not being heroes, right? Even though majority of the popularity, they have quirks, right? Not everybody is a hero. That's one of the main big things. So,
Hmm.
then like you say, yeah, then the villains were the ones who were actually using their quirks and stuff for evil, or just to become small time petty thieves. That's how you have regular thieves and stuff in this in this world too, right? So,
Hmm.
I get what you're saying, right? Yeah, because in the grand scheme of things, necessarily maybe being.
I just would have thought that would have impacted the story some more than it has, especially like when we got to the part where no one was trusting heroes and
Well,
stuff like
maybe.
that.
Well, do
Like
you
I
want do
thought,
you do you count the overhaul stuff? Maybe part of that impacting it, right? Because with that arc, it was about taking people's quirks away.
but did he? I'm trying to remember. Oh man, it's been a while. I'm just trying to remember if he had like any special insight on shit like that.
I can't remember what was his
Because like,
true
did he
goal. I
even?
believe he really just wanted to become an underground, drug lord, no pen, and rule the underground, and as well as take over the family for his business for his dad, if I'm not mistaken, because his dad
Yes,
or
that was kind of like the
grandfather
big
was the
thing.
head of the like family.
Hmm.
And they
And
were
they started
sick.
losing influences after
Yeah.
he got sick. Yeah, but I'm just saying, like from Midoriya's perspective, I thought like, for instance, some of like where he started would have,
Mm-hmm.
as a quirkless person, would have impacted some of like when Miria lost his quirk.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to, I would have loved to see Midoriya be like, hey man, quirk ain't everything. All this, that, and the
I
third.
get what you're
But he didn't even,
saying. It did, yeah.
he
Because
didn't
now
even
I'm
do
thinking,
something. He
did
didn't even
they
do
did
something
they
like
have
that.
a moment like that after he
No,
lost his quirk?
he did not. Nope, not at all. And if it
Damn.
did, it wasn't
Because you know what,
memorable.
that would have been like a cool little mini arc as well, right? Him going to old Bub like, hey, you might be quirkless, but I believe in you. You can still be a he-" I mean, that's crazy. Throw him an A, man. Throw him an A, though. Throw him an A, man. But I mean, overall, though, I still fuck with Deku, right?
No, I think he's great. I
I
think
think
he's
he's
a
great.
great character. I just
Throw him in A, man. But I think really, really, truly, for me, what will probably bump him up to the S tier is I gotta see how this ends, right? I
yeah.
gotta see how this ends. For him to truly become like an S tier MC, in my opinion, I gotta see how the end of the series goes.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Because I definitely think A I don't think he should be lower than A. I just like I said, there's some stuff in this story I wish they did with him that would have boosted him to like S. Because
I give you that. And then you know what? On top of that, even with like the whole All Might and Deku, mentorship thing, it's just sad that like All Might had to lose his powers like that, so he couldn't really train Deku like that, like he really wanted to. And that did come up, here and there, but I just think that was also another missed opportunity as well.
yeah,
Maybe I don't know, do the story a little bit different to where All Might can kind of, even though All Might, he still wants to pass on his powers, but maybe he don't lose them as fast like he did. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think it
it
was
was
bad though, but
yeah.
I just think maybe we lost out on a few more Deku and All Might mentorship moments that we probably potentially could have had, because like he doesn't really get to train him, like talking about for real, because he just because he lost his power so fast, right?
hmm Yeah, no, I agree. That would have been interesting. Whew, okay, big three. First up,
Starting
Sun
off
Eater.
with Sun Eater. Throw my boy at least in B. Really cool powers. Whatever he eats, he grows like animal limbs from that food or whatever.
And he can combine it,
And
and
he can
that's it.
combine it.
Yeah, and I like I said, these he didn't he they don't get he doesn't really get a lot of screen time, but I did like the backstory he had, how he was kind of a mentor to Kirishima
Mm-hmm.
a bit. Like that was cool. So I agree. B, I don't really think. Yeah, I think that's perfect for him.
Okay.
Nidri or Nidjiri, I think it's how yeah Nidjiri. I like her power. I think
Cool
she's
power.
again mostly vibes. Because they don't really give her a lot of screen time. We
No, they
really
don't. But I do like her backstory,
yeah
and I
we got. I
think
was like we just got
I
her backstory.
I find it hella interesting that nobody really wanted to pay her any attention, right? At all.
Because yeah,
Just I guess just because they thought she was weird because she
mhm.
asked so many questions and stuff like that. I don't know. I
About
just
yeah,
thought that
she
was
was
interesting. But I'll at least throw in B tier. But you can go on to the next character, and I'm gonna let my dog out real quick before he loses his mind.
okay. I agree, B tier. I was gonna say is like yeah, her backstory was interesting. It just kind of sucks that we didn't get it to like the end. So like this character was really just kind of there for the first half. Lay Million, my boy Mirio. Personally, probably A for me. A or B. That's probably what I'd.
I don't know if I can throw him after A after these last few episodes, man. Like I told you, Vermilion on
We
fraud watch
had
right
this
now.
conversation.
Vermilion is on fraud
And we
watch
had this
right
conversation.
now.
He got the anti pick. It happens. Sometimes you just get anti pick. That's it. I just you got that. He had the answers.
Kind of like Gojo from JJK. He just had to end up
Yeah,
facing Sukuna.
you got the
You are
answers.
him. Unfortunately, you had to face him.
Yeah, exactly. You had the. It's a great character. It's unfortunate he has all the shit that you are good against. He he got all the answers to that. Like I can't. I gotta defend him.
Oh man! So I mean, I do think his powers is kind of cool as well. And I mean, every moment, but before these past few moments that we saw from him has always been fantastic. He's always come to save the day. I guess we'll throw him an A. But I'm just
Thank
saying,
you.
my boy Vermilion is on fraud watch, and my dog once again just came back here and bust open his door. Like he paid bills, everybody. He just left because he wanted to get out. I'm not understanding. But yeah, I mean, I guess we can throw him A, but what, like, he on fire watch now. I'm just saying.
He got the anti pick. They had the answers.
All like I said, hey, all I'm saying is out of all the big three, the other two was holding their own. That's all I'm saying. That's all. I hear what you're saying. You know, he is fighting evil incarnate right now, but all I'm saying is the other two would seem like they could at least hold a little smidge bit of their own. That's all I was saying.
Okay. All right. Next up, we got pro hero / faculty. So first up, President Mike. Like him, but
I
no,
fuck
he
with
actually,
but you know, Prison Mac is cool.
I was just about to say they don't really give him much, but like that hit the thing the prison episode with him and Aizawa was actually really good.
Yes, that was good. And then I would say in terms of like comedy wise, I would say his comedy is definitely way better than
Yeah,
Mina's, right?
yeah.
Way better than his. I actually like when he tries to make you laugh and stuff like that. President Mike, at least a smooth C, right?
That's
Maybe
what
a
I was
B,
thinking.
but at least a smooth
Smooth.
C.
Yeah, I'm more inclined to give him a C than B.
Okay.
Okay.
Now Aizawa, talk me down from the S. Talk me down from the S.
From the S.
Talk me down from the S.
Why do you think he's S? Because I guess I'm not there. Because to me, he's either A or
cool
B.
as hell, right?
Uh-huh.
A quirk, kind of like and I knew I was going to get one of these characters eventually, but they gave him to us early on. The anti-quirk guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just by looking at people, he can shut off their quirks, and then he also counteracts that by training his body into using a cool hero gear that nobody else can use besides his other mentor that he taught how to use with the little raps and stuff. He's a better Spider-Man than the fake Spider-Man that we got, right? Than the Walmart Spider-Man.
Okay, fair.
How do you let that happen? How do you let that happen? How do you let somebody who's not even trying to be the Spider-Man type character be a better, more Spider-Man than you? I'm not.
Fair. I guess
But maybe not S though. But I think he is.
That's what I was about to say. Like,
but
I don't know.
I guess because maybe okay, maybe I'll bring him down to this because now I'm trying to think if I give him an S tier, I probably have to compare to go out a little bit of comparison and maybe try to start comparing to some other mentors and stuff like that. At least A.
I was about to say I think he's definitely a very strong contender for A. I like his character. His power is really cool. The fact that the only hero gear he fights with is the scarf and the fucking glasses that he has, which again, it's just shades where you cannot see where he's looking. That is fucking amazing. And then like the story beats.
Also one of the night heroes as well, right? Like he does most of his hero stuff during the night. If I'm not
I
mistaken,
think so. I think that was supposed to be his.
kind of like similar to Hawks as well.
Yeah, I think that was supposed to be his like
in the night a lot.
Yeah, I think that's supposed to be his like stick. I also like him as a teacher. He's really funny because he's just very upfront with people.
Upfront, he's always motivating the kids, keeping them in line, keeping them in check.
Yeah, I'd probably I'd A. Hawks. Now, I think Hawks could be a contender for S. He's at least very high. He is at least very high A.
He's nothing less than A, right?
Yeah,
nothing less than A. One of the coolest characters in the series.
Very interesting power.
Yes, feathers, and like in a deeper sense than because I didn't think he was gonna be like this. Like it's hella cool. For the fact it's almost like oh boy, I think his name is not Gildarts because that's fairy tale. Gilgamesh, right? From Fate Zero.
Okay.
Right, you know how this man can control thousands of swords, right? In that sense, but he can control all his feathers.
Yeah.
Also, use them to make his wings and fly and stuff like that. Make blades out of the feathers. Can grab a single person up with a single feather, like lift a body up with a single feather. Ridiculous. Like, how can a feather lift 100 times its weight?
Made in the most recent episodes, he has feather bladed katanas, which is just cool as shit. But besides that,
he's always had them.
I know, but like that, the way it was just the way I think he went about doing it in the last couple episodes. It's really cool. Besides that though, his backstory and like his story in the show really cool. Pretending to be the mole, how that went about.
Yep, I was just
killing
about to say he does play an important role, like in the grand scheme of the series. He
yeah,
does.
killing twice, and even his backstory is super interesting for him to have been like technically he was born into nothing,
Hmm.
but the government again the whole hero society thing, the
Yep.
government recognized that like oh he had the skills to potentially like fight like be a child almost like a child soldier almost basically kind
Yeah.
of thing, and
Also,
then
essentially became the sidekick to the number one hero to kind of help lead him into his era and make
mhm,
sure the world doesn't go into other chaos. After we just lost All Might, right? So he was also wanted to technically also one of the pillars, help keeping the society from going to shit. Before Shigaraki started his his grand move,
move yeah.
right?
So yeah, I'd say Hawks is probably S.
Nothing less than A, but
Do
he's
you
definitely a
want to go
contender
S
for. He's
or
definitely a
do A?
contender for S. I think let's slap him next to All Might because we're gonna come back to both of them too, and we'll have another discussion. We're gonna bump them up this at the end here.
Okay, Mirko, new person, technically newest character on the block out of the people in here, but
Yes, nothing
very
less
much a fan favorite
than
for a
A,
lot
in
of
my
people.
opinion. I mean, she just stole the hearts of all the fans in the series,
Yeah,
right? What is not to love about Mirko?
honestly, like shows up and wreck shit. Like that's how like what is there not to like, right? So yeah. Sometimes it's the simple things.
And then
Endeavor,
even though her quirk is simple, just she just has the characters
it's
of a bunny.
bunny. Yeah,
She became the top hero because she trained her body to be a beast, and she just goes around putting hands on motherfuckers, right? Just putting hands on people, and ain't nothing that most of nobody really, but I guess potentially I guess some of the strongest people in the verses really that can really do something with her because she is one of the strongest people in the verse as well,
yeah.
like just off of raw strength.
Yeah, after Shigaraki did the upgrade and he was wasn't paying attention to half the people, she was still a problem. So that's just to let you know. All right, Endeavor. I
Okay,
I'm about to say something
this
blasphemous right now.
yeah, I was just about to say this is gonna get real controversial.
I'm about to say something blasphemous. I don't like him as a person, but as a character, I think he gotta go on S.
An S,
I think he do.
an
And
S,
yes,
an
and I
A-
don't. And I want you to know,
okay.
I don't
So
like
that's
him.
I don't know. Oh, that's
I don't like him as a person, but as
I
a
don't
character,
know
he
about
has
S, but I would definitely give him A because once again, one of the only other characters in this series that has phenomenal growth, like from beginning to like his character arc to the end to like even now, phenomenal character growth. Also one of the coolest characters in the series as well. The main fire user, in the series, right? Besides his other family members who the main fire users in the series.
Mhm.
And then just also took the mantle, become the number one hero, right? Everybody was wondering, what are we gonna, who are we gonna look up to, after All Might left? What are we gonna do? Who are gonna keep these villains at bay? Even though technically he didn't really truly succeed at that because Shigaraki is going about with his plan, but he did the best he could. I think he
Mhm.
was doing a good job of it, right? And he's trying, even though he, like you said, horrible father, right? But
Terrible father.
he's trying
Not
to
a good
amend for
person.
that though. Not
Yes.
not a good person. Part of that, maybe not 10% of that. I will give 10% of that blame to Off One. The other 90% is all him. But I will give Off One 10% of that blame
Mhm.
for him being a horrible person, right? Only 10% because he was a horrible person before the whole situation with his son, disappearing and all that, and him think it was dead. He was already a shitty
Yeah,
father,
it's
father
already
before,
not
right?
good, right?
So, but maybe things could have been a little bit different if Dobby was still around. Maybe maybe it wouldn't have been as worse, right? Um, but that's why I give off 110% of that ish into that, right? Because you kidnapping people's children, right? That has an, I don't care what nobody say, that would have an effect on somebody, right? This man killed somebody's child.
Okay, so the reason, all right, so I do agree he should definitely be an A, but the reason I was arguing, I'm gonna argue a little bit for S is because
Talk to me.
besides
You gonna have to
he's,
give me a good reason of why he should be an S and not All Might.
I think,
You
I
gonna have to give
think,
me a good reason.
well, here's the thing, I think out of all of the characters, besides like say maybe like the main characters that we've had,
Mm-hmm.
he's had the most character development. He has one of the most interesting stories out
Mm-hmm.
of any of the cast. He's
Mm-hmm.
not um his power really interesting. The way he uses it also really cool.
Mhm.
Uh, they put him in a very interesting position when he finally got what he really wanted it, and then
Mhm.
got there and was like, I don't know if this is actually it. Like he finally got there. One was had to deal with being upset by how he got there because he was like, I
Mhm.
didn't fully earn it. And then
Yeah,
two,
he was upset at how he got there.
realizing that this ain't everything I really wanted. Cause like at the end of the day, he realized like I got here, but like my life is still shitty. Like my family hates me. Uh I want to be able to like usher in the next generation, but at the same time, like I got this dark past, ain't like shit going on. And then I think within the recent episodes with him fighting all for one, putting his life on the line and like coming to
Mhm.
terms like with all the shit that happened to Dobby, and trying to make amends for his past. Like I thought that was really I just think that was a good culmination of his character.
But because of his past, will you allow him to be an S character
Well, that's
in
all.
this
But
here though?
here's the thing. Like I just because I again don't like him as a
Mm,
person,
uh,
but as a character, that's why I'm like I think he goes to S simply
I mean,
because
yes. I
he's
mean,
out
as a
of
character, even as a person, like he still has done horrible things.
things.
Like, yes, he's still trying to, he's working to
But if
amend
we're
those
gonna,
things. But like, he did those things.
but that's what I'm saying. Like I think that's why as a character he probably gets S because of just the simple growth. Now, granted, yeah, it's bad, but like if we say like not
But
technically
I
not
was just
having a
about to say,
trouble
I guess I
passes.
can't necessarily say doing bad things can demote you from an A tier, from S tier or whatever, right? Because then at that point, right, well, by that logic, no villains would ever be an S
Make
tier
it S tier.
villain, right? But we're not villains have different category, things you reckon about. But I don't know, man. I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying.
I'm fine to put him in A because I think at the end of the day that's also a good spot for him. But I just was like I wanted to argue for S, even though
I hear
I don't like the motherfucker. I just want to be very clear.
I hear your
I
arguments, and I understand the reason why you have to put him for S. But I think because me personally, I do think his past has weight in his ranking, right?
mm,
Right, like he has. It's not like, and it's not like he had. He's the reason for his trouble past, right? It's not like he had a trouble past due to like circumstance or anything. He's the reason for
no, that's
his
fair.
trouble
That's
past.
fair. That's fair. Completely fair.
So
That's
like,
why I say I don't have a problem putting him in A because I agree. Like,
mm,
like technically he is the reason for all of his problems.
maybe
Like,
it was maybe it would be a little bit different if he wasn't like the sole main reason for like all of his problems. But like, we being
because he
real,
is his own worst enemy.
yes, there you go. If we're being real, he is his own worst enemy. So by that fact,
That's
I don't
fair.
think I can give him the S. I
No,
can give
that's
him A.
that's fair. I I actually like that's fair. That's 100% fair. Okay,
All right,
best genus.
but you almost had me there.
No, well, actually, no. You got me because at the moment you said he is the reason for all his shit, I was like, you know what? You're right. The wool was pulled over my eyes. The wool was pulled over my eyes because
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, you making sense. But if we like just think about it, like he's the main that
again.
trouble
I got
pass you talking about. He's the main
reason
reason
for
for
it.
that
Yeah, no,
trouble
you're right.
pass.
You're right. You 100% correct. I was like, you know what? Yeah, no,
Like that man
Ace is
brought
correct.
that upon himself.
Self. It wasn't. Yeah, 100%. Okay. Best genus. Uh, C or B for me. Is what I'm feeling.
Yep, same
He's
here.
not a bad character. It's just that they really don't really do much with him outside of the episodes where the pro heroes start to get involved, and even
Yeah.
then, like I don't know much about him as a
I
person.
mean, every time they listen, all I'm gonna say, all I know is when old boy was pulled up to fight evil incarnate, and he's just a built hero. He just looked you dead in your eyes and said, "Bet I'm there." Like, I'm there. What
That's some real shit.
what else do you want from me?
That's some real shit.
But I'm
Okay.
with you, B or C though. Both times to fight evil incarnate too, right? Not just the one.
No,
Like his
yeah,
because
most
after
times
he fought
faked
Shigaraki
his
that first
death.
time, he could have said, you know what? This is a little too much for me. I don't want to be on the team to fight Shigaraki, but signed up for it again for a second time.
Yeah, after the man decimated a whole a whole city, was still cool with it.
you saw what this man could do, but signed up for it again. So you know what? It is what it is. I will be one of the ones put my life on the line to go fight this man again. After another power up, right? Go fight this man again. I will do that. Yeah, get that man a B. Real cool. Cool.
Okay, Night Eye.
Okay, so I mean clairvoyance, hella cool ability,
Uh
right?
huh.
Let's just go and get that out the way. Really dope. But unfortunately, we haven't really gotten to see much of him
I
due
was
to
gonna.
his death.
Yeah, I was
It is
gonna.
really cool though that he was wasn't he was Endeavor's psychic or was he
All
All
Might
Might
psychic.
psychic?
He was
Yeah, there we go.
All Might psychic. He thought McMillian should have gotten all for one, one for all instead
Yeah,
of Midoriya.
definitely.
Like I was gonna put him in either B or C. I'm thinking more so B. The more I think about it, because I think he was an interesting character. A, because he was someone from like All Might's past that wasn't immediately like in love with Midoriya like everybody else from All Might's
Hmm.
past.
Hmm.
Um, he had interesting. He, like I said, the clairvoyant ability was kind of cool, and all he had was clairvoyance. Now, granted, clairvoyance is a very strong ability, but other than
Hmm.
that, he was a normal guy. Like, but he was
Yeah.
out there fighting crazy ass villains. Uh, had his own agency all by himself. Well, mostly by himself. He had two psychics, the Bubble Girl
Interesting.
and the Million, but he was still showing up and showing out. So
Okay.
I kind of want to put him in B.
Only B. All right, there we go. All Might psychic. Give him the B tier. All right,
Gran
Gran
Torino.
Torino. All right, the grandfather hero that we got introduced to.
Hmm.
Um, as far as like the elderly type, people go in the shows. He was cool. Unfortunately, he doesn't get to do as much as like elderly people from other animes and stuff like that. My man just had that one arc to help train Deku a little bit, and that's really all we've seen from Gran Torino since then. Like we've seen him
He did.
become more of a like integrating with the heroes again since then.
Yeah.
But
He did help out with the invasion of
yeah,
the hospital, and now he's bedridden in the hospital because what happened. Uh but
Um,
I did like his character because he was the one that kind of helped
he is a
Deku.
nice character. I think from what we've seen, I can at least give him a B or a C. He's a really
Yeah.
cool character, really cool ability, and I mean he did help us out from the time being. It's
I
just
think
that
just
he
we
didn't
didn't
get
get a
enough screen time. He
yeah,
didn't
I
get
was
a
about to
lot.
say because of the not a lot, I might just put him in C
Okay, there you go.
because like
Yeah,
strong
because I think they
character.
would have gave him a little bit more. Because like, yeah, like I mean, like I said, they really only just that one small training arc with Deku is like really all we got from Gran Torino. I think we should have got at least something else, right?
Hmm.
Um, yeah, throw him in C, but high C. I agree, probably at the top C there.
Yeah. All right. The problem.
The per-
If this honestly, I don't know what I would have rated him if it wasn't for like these last two seasons. Because before that, it wasn't. He was just a guy.
he
Now,
was just a guy.
now,
He was just a guy before then. I will say this. I think All for One is cool because it's been a minute, in my opinion. Besides, like of course, stuff like maybe JJK and
hmm,
maybe Black Clover. Since we just got a villain that's a villain because they're a villain, right?
yeah,
It ain't no alter materials with All for One going on, right? No, oh, he was a good guy, but he just had a troubled past and he went down a dark road. No, this man is a villain from beginning to end. All we seen from this man was villain, 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 right? And
hmm,
I like that about him. Like sometimes we just need a good villain, right?
yeah. I mean, even like the most recent thing, he was like, I'm this way because of the comic book stories I read. I wanted it all. I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah, even like you said, the comic book analogy that he gave, a villain ass type answer. All the heroes in the comic books, the stories always ends with the hero's villain winning, right? But me,
uh,
no, I don't like that. I always like the villains. Why can't the villains win? And the villains are always the ones who take people's dreams away. That's essentially what I want to do. I want to make sure everybody else can achieve their dreams. crazy. This man is a lunatic.
Wild.
Not only
um,
world domination, this man said, "I want to shatter
mm,
everyone's dreams."
dreams. Mm-hmm.
On top of
Insane.
world domination, that's just a villain. Sometimes you just need a villain just to be a villain because he's just a bad guy, right? For a good villain, right? Just sometimes
Mm-hmm.
you don't always need these underlying things to try and give the villain a good reason to be a bad guy, right? Sometimes that's just life. There's just evil people in the world, right?
Yep. Yep. Yep.
But the real question is, where are we ranking them though, right? After all this being said, Evil Incarnate, like he is the main villain behind the series, even when it seemed like he was trying to hand
Pass it
off,
off to
quote unquote,
Shigaraki.
pass it off to Shigaraki.
We
We
just found out
find
that
out
Shigaraki was just gonna be another him. So
there you
like,
go, there you go. And so, which just doubles down on his name, all for one, right? Truly, it's just all for one. You really thought I was
that's
gonna
why
pass
that
my lineage down to you, sir? No, no, I'm using you.
I kind of want to throw him in S, but I also there's something that's holding. I
I
don't know
think
what it
what's holding
is.
us back right now from the S is because we still have to see how his story ends here, right? Just
Yeah,
because we're at the
because
peak, we're at the peak of his story right now, essentially.
mm-hmm.
And I'm with you. It's kind of like off one as well, and back to kind of like Deku as well, right? I really need to see how this series ends, maybe before because like
because they've been building up
he's
so
the
much.
main villain, right?
Yeah, and they've been building up so much to him to the point where like we didn't even get to know much about him until recently, right?
Yeah,
So yeah, I think I got to throw him in A.
he's storming it for right now.
Yeah, all
Damn, we
right.
got our boy Shoto just chilling in this by himself. That's crazy. All right, Shigaraki,
Rocky.
the man, the myth, the legend,
Legend.
the other evil incarnate junior, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if we're going by backstories, I think I'll put his below Endeavors and and Shoto's, but still probably one of the most impactful backstories
Of the series,
in of the series, right?
if not the most.
The grandson of one of the previous One for All users. So you have a prominent hero in your life, but still somehow he grew up feeling like heroes were never there to save him, and then just ended up. But also due that fact, also due to him having one of the craziest quirks
Works.
that
Yeah.
somebody can be born with and decay, right? Just anything you touch and just always crumbles. So he accidentally killed his parents, his mother, but then he went to kill the rest of his family on purpose. After that, though,
Well, it was his dog.
just a truly
I'm
psychopathic
about to say
man.
it was his dog first, and then if I'm not mistaken, I think was it his
Mom. Well,
sister?
I thought it was mom. He did by accident.
No, it was his dog
But then he
first
went.
because he
Was
was
it his dog
outside.
first?
Yeah, he was outside crying.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was like petting his dog, and then it just turned to
Crumbled.
dust.
Yeah.
And then I don't remember who was after that because I do know it was either his
That's what I'm saying. I
grandparents.
could have sworn it was his mom after that.
It
But
was either his
regardless,
grandparents or his mom because I know his sister and his dad were left the last ones. But yeah, regardless,
yeah, he took them
most
folks up out of there.
most impactful backstory probably of the series.
I think he's been. Okay, let me ask you this: do you think he's been because he's also been the main character since the beginning, not the main character, main villain, since the beginning of the series, right? Do
Mhm.
you think he has been living up to that, right?
No,
Okay,
in
then throw him
my
an A.
in my opinion, not really. Up until what do I want to say? Up until when was it that I really felt like Shigaraki started giving people trouble? I think it was up until after like we got done with Overhaul. I didn't even really think Shigaraki as much as like not saying he
So
wasn't a
essentially, you
threat.
really didn't think Shigaraki was a threat until it was
I don't know if I
confirmed
want to
that.
say I don't want to know if I want to say that he wasn't there because I still felt Shigaraki was dangerous, but it wasn't
Mhm.
like he didn't present himself as like the main villain of the series to me.
Until he started getting
Really,
those power boosts, really.
yeah, because a lot of his plans were getting thwarted very quickly.
They were.
Um, there wasn't really much turnaround from I'm here to do evil shit. Oh, the heroes have stopped me. Well, like So, but he's had such a good run these the last few seasons.
Yeah.
The villain war arc was such a good one to like My Villain Academia, I should say.
Yeah,
That's
I
it.
was about to say these past few seasons because season 5 was My Villain Academia, right? And then season 6, the pre-war arc, right? That we
Yeah.
had, that little pre-battle, that was also fantastic as well. And then now we have season 7 with the final war arc going on now. To be honest with you, I don't even know the name of these arcs. I'm gonna have to look up these because I don't know any of these names for these My Hero arcs at all, which is kind of crazy to think
About yeah.
about. um, but I mean, yeah, so because of that, because he probably doesn't really become more prevalent in our minds, maybe to like around that season 5 ish, right? When he starts doing more stuff, like say that's that vigilante season, right? Is when he really start kicking up.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, throw him in A, right? I would
Yeah, I was
agree
thinking
because
I was
yeah,
like
he,
either
he
A
he
or
had
high
that one
B.
moment in that first season. Then ever since then, he was really just in the underground, just really planning his mood. And then we had the vigilante arc, and then that's when everything started going. I'll give you that. Throw him in A.
Yeah, okay. All right, Dabi. Again, very prevalent character. Some would say the second
Least A,
leader.
elite A or B, in my opinion, not an S tier, A or B.
Yeah, no, I agree. This is also another one I'm very contented to see how his story ends.
Hmm.
Because I like where it's gone. That fucking shit where he revealed himself to the world was
Yeah,
crazy.
that
That
was
was
crazy. That was crazy.
that was insane. But like, yeah, I definitely I think
And
for
then
him to
also
go
just
higher, I
him
need to
just
see where he's
being
going.
consistently a thorn in their side since the very beginning as well, right?
Mhm.
Um, yeah, throw him in A. Throw him in A.
All right. Next up, this is Magne.
Hmm.
Um, I don't remember them, so I'm probably just gonna put them in
I,
F.
I'm with you. I'm with you. Throw him in there. Throw him in there.
Mr. Compress. Other than his ability,
I would give him at least a D because of his cool
I was about to
ability,
say
right?
like
I
his
believe his ability will save him from the F tier.
yeah. Other than his ability, I don't really care. Even his backstory, I was like,
I'm with you there, but I
okay.
believe I will say his ability saves him from the F tier.
Twice
Oh, Twice. So Twice was actually more of a deeper thought
character.
character than it first led out to seem, right? So he's just this guy that has multiple personality disorder due to his quirks, right? Being able to split himself in half and
He's not
everything.
sure which one of himself is if he's
Which is
the
the real one, which
original
is
or
is crazy. Like the author, how he wrote this character is crazy. Like chef's kiss, right? Like this
yeah
is just beautiful. Yeah, like because you would never think about something like that, right? Because you always seen like cloning abilities, but I think this is like kind of one of the first
and
twists, like
what's
how somebody did this, right? Did it like
yeah
this, right? Like having your clones being like split personality. Well, their clones aren't necessarily split personalities, but it kind of just worked out like that, though,
that
right?
yeah and to me I think the most interesting thing about him is that he never intended to really be a villain. It was just that like he already had some issues and it prevented him from getting work, so he had
Yeah,
to resort to like
villainy to
villainry.
keep his family
And then
afloat.
the first
Yeah.
time one of his clones ended up dying is when the shit hit the fan, and I was like, okay, this is a very yeah. I was like, this is a super interesting character. And then when he evolved, when his quirk evolved,
Yeah. Yeah.
now
When his
granted,
quirk evolved,
he didn't get to stay around long enough.
you at that you have to get this man out of here at that point because that is just unlimited potential because that's Kakashi on crack.
Yes, because not only do you have to worry about this man copying abilities, you have to fight multiple of him.
Yes. It's Kakashi on crack, right? You just this man could literally make an army of just the League of Villain, like thousands of them potentially, right? It's just crazy, or just if you get All Might, right? Because he potentially come back at All Might in full form, whatever. Or if he touched somebody like Endeavor or some shit, just it don't even matter. Regardless, his ability at that point became an issue, and
Yeah,
at that what the first death in the series.
If not first, at least first like major one that like stuck with people.
Well, no, not the first death in the series because I think like Night Eye might have been the first death in the series.
Yes, but like
Um,
he was very
but
his was
definitely
very impactful.
major impactful, right? Because
Yeah.
it was the first hero killing a villain type death in the series, right? The first where
Yes.
we've seen a hero take a villain's life
Yes.
in this series.
I
I would at least
I'm
give him
thinking
a
high
B.
B. Yeah, high B. That's what I was about high.
I'm about to say, I'll at least give him a B.
Yeah. All right.
This man right here,
Kurogiri.
I maybe his ability saves him from the F tier.
I was gonna say the backstory probably saved him from the interior.
Oh, and that as well. Okay, slap him in D. Other
Yeah.
than that, he doesn't really do much.
I was
right?
thinking, yeah, because I was either thinking low C or high D because I thought he was his bad. Like when they went to in jail and then he actually remembered who he was, I was like, "Fuck, shit!" I was like, "Shit, that's heavy." God damn.
Yeah, the old friend. Yeah,
Okay.
that was dead too. Yeah, crazy. Toga.
Toga. Her
I
quirk.
don't too much care for Toga, but
I
her
don't.
quirk is also cool.
I
Also,
was her quirk,
kind of
and then
similar to Twice's in a sense,
yes,
because in the way that when her evolved quirk, right, her
yeah,
being when she drinks somebody's
she
blood, that she
copies
can become that person
and
essentially,
use
right?
that quirk as well.
Yeah,
I was gonna say that plus her psychosis. Like for instance, we just recently found out that the reason, like, that she doesn't come threatening off as threatening to people is if she likes you, she wants to hurt. Harm to her is an expression of love. I was like, that's
which
just
is
kind of
crazy.
cool.
Yeah,
Um,
she's dead twisted
yeah.
to where that,
Uh,
like you said, that harming people is an expression of
but
love. Yeah,
other than that, she's a tsundere, not tsundere. Or is it no, not Sundari. I forget what the
the rival
stalker
to
one.
Osaku, if you
Yes,
will, as well.
rival to Ochaka, and also
Osaka, there we go. I keep
the
calling it
the
Osaku,
trope
Osaka.
the trope where if you date my person, I gotta kill you. I just forget
Yeah,
what it's called. Other than that though, she doesn't really bring much.
much to the table. I would throw her in C maybe.
I mean, I feel bad for her because like she was technically abandoned by her parents, but like,
I mean, but you, your child growing up and wanting to drink blood, you don't think that's weird? It probably still
oh
be
no,
weird
I'm
if
not
they
saying
adult
it's
her,
not
but
weird,
that's
but
weird as hell.
I'm just
That's
saying
weird as
like
hell.
it's just messed up because like
No, definitely messed up.
there was
I
no
agree.
one.
Like, don't abandon her.
Yeah,
I'm with you there, but you can't say that went weird, right?
yeah, I'm just saying, like, they didn't go any resources to help this motherfucker. Like, crazy.
Yeah, no, I'm with you
S-
there. Don't abandon her.
Spinner D. Like, the only thing I don't think he should be an F is because I actually don't dislike his character at all. But
I
at
don't
the same
dislike him.
time,
Yeah,
like, he don't really do much. Even when oh man, I granted he could have something next couple episodes that does push him up. But like when he was on all one for
one for all. No, I mean all
off
for one.
off for one,
Hmm.
and he was like, "I'm gonna evolve you. I'm gonna give you a different quirk or like more power." He just ended up becoming giant, and I was like, "I that don't really. That's not really that interesting." So
Yeah, he did just kind of giganticize him a little bit as his this quirk he was given him, which wasn't really. Yeah, I thought he was gonna get something a little bit cooler than that as well too, because he was like, quirk from the Demon King. Sure, why not?
no,
Right?
why not? Why not?
It might
Okay,
be cool, but no, it wasn't cool at all. At
staying
all.
here.
Yeah, throw that man in D. That probably would have saved him, bumped him up to C, but no, it wasn't cool at all. Throw that man in D. I'm with you there.
Yeah. Stain, hero killer. I
The
think
hero Carol. I mean, even though he was taken out early in the series,
when
he's
he came.
still talked about in the
Yeah,
series.
he still talked about, and he came back and during like the riot stuff and reminded All Might who he was. So I personally think he should be in C for that, like because he was a cool character.
I'll give
I
you
didn't
that.
really have any problem with him. He was like what first major arc of it.
One of the first major villains. Yeah.
Yeah, and he has lasted with a fan base and in
Hmm.
universe
Yeah.
enough for it to like stick. So I'd probably get to put him to C.
I mean, like even like a lot of people, even like some of the people in the show talk about how they try and follow his ideologies and stuff like that because they looked up to him still and
Mm-hmm.
all that. Yeah, I'll give him C. That earns you a C, right? People following your ideology and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
even if some people have twisted it and stuff, but yeah.
Yeah, I'll give him a C.
Overhaul. Uh,
Overhaul.
This is interesting because while I thought I liked his arc, I'm not sure if I really liked him as a villain though. And it's
I'm
more
with
so
you there.
because and it's more so because like
It was almost like a okay, let me put it like this: a filler villain, right? Almost like
yeah,
one of those villains because we need a villain to be in this part of the story, just
yes.
while I'm building up stuff with the main villain still, right?
That's perfectly it because other like he was such a in my opinion a footnote on the series because but the
And
moment
what's even more weirder about that is like that was one of the only other time we seen 100% all for one out of Deku, right? Like he pulled that
yeah
out for that man.
and it was great and it was a great moment but like other but him as a villain like I like to be quite honest until I when the prison riot happened and he escaped and they were calling him by his name I was like who the fuck is this why is he important and then I think someone can make the connection of overhaul and him being a part of a Bob family I was oh shit like I haven't thought about you in ever like
Forever.
I
Yeah.
got I think I got put him in D.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay. I'm agreeing with you there that he doesn't do much and he was a filler art. But
But
are we throwing him in deep? Because like I said, one of the only in terms of just like I guess if for importance of the series, right? He's the only motherfucker so far that Deku had to pull out 100% off of one for him. I'm pretty sure we're gonna see that
well
at some point
technically
at the end of the series, right? Because
well
ain't no
technically he
way you
pulled
do
the
some shit
next
like that for the filler like overhaul and then not let us see that again at all throughout the rest of the series, right?
well
So
well technically the next character he made Deku pull out what he thought was 1,000%. So
you talking about
remember
that Detroit smash he did?
no, I mean remember the camp when he was fighting Muscular the first time
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
he
yeah,
thought
yeah. He
he
did
thought
that,
he pulled out like even more like hold on
but of course we know
let me
that
see if I can
wasn't
find it.
it. So
Yeah, exactly. But that's all I'm saying is like technically Muscular might have been like the first
yeah, I feel what you're saying. Yeah, no,
villain.
we had this argument back during the that one My Hero movie.
But that's why that's why I was like I think I want to put him in D, but also like
I kind
maybe
of want
just
to.
for the sake of the fact that like
I give you. I'm with you in D, but I just
he was the
maybe just for
first.
the sake of the fact of the the grand scale of the fight, right?
Yeah, well, I was gonna say the grand scale of fight, and then two, I'll at least give him this. Like, I don't think about him that much, but when they met Eri, that is burned into. That's one of my favorite moments in My Hero,
Mm,
is when Midoriya met Eri, and he instantly realized that Overhaul was the villain and that this kid was in trouble.
yeah.
Because I was like, that's such a
And then
good moment.
also, if I'm going by the logic of people's quirks can save them from like F tiers and stuff like that,
Overhaul is a
then
really cool
I will
quirk.
say him having to push Deku to 100% that can bump him up to C tier. I would give him that.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I was about to say like he had some redeeming stuff in there, but I was like, if it wasn't for those, I don't think about you that much, Hobie. Like I'm sorry. Muscular.
Muscular. Now,
Now
muscular
this is
is a
interesting.
part of my one of the favorite moments from the series from Deku. Like you was just talking about it, the 1,000%, Detroit
Hmm.
smash that he did on muscular, and during the woods, woods
The
training
camping
arc and
arc.
all
Yeah.
that, the camping arc, yeah. Um, and he was also used as a test limit for Deku at well
When he came back. Yeah.
after his training when he came back and he smashed that man in one hit.
It was so fun. It was because he thought Muscular thought that he was still a threat
Muscular
to
thought
Deku,
shit was sweet.
and he trounced. He man didn't even blink.
He said, "Let me tell you. Let me show you something real quick. I know how to upgrade it. All right, you're fodder now.
Hmm.
You're literally fodder now. You're just an ad, just a regular ad. You can't hang with the big boys no more. All right, give him a
Yeah.
C.
I was thinking that. I was like, he doesn't have much in terms of like story himself, but his impact, I think, was
I think
somewhat
it's C enough.
significant.
I think it's C
Cause
worthy.
yeah, okay, all right, that's the cutoff. So we
Because
would
also
technically rank.
right because if we turn talking about in terms of impact, right? He's also one of the villains that made here Deku show his hero way, right? And his sense of justice, right? Because like for example, that kid was asking Deku, like why would you save me? You don't even know me. Why would you put your life on the line like this for me? And Deku simple answer because that's what a hero does. I'm a hero, right?
Mhm.
Plain and simple.
Got it. Got it. Yeah. No, I agree. Okay. So, do we? This is where we're at.
This is
Do we want
crazy. I did not. Okay, I'm gonna be straight
first
up
off?
with you. Having
First,
only one S tier is blowing my mind right now. I did not know it was going to end up like this.
true. Second, it's we've been doing this a lot longer than I thought we were going to.
We were,
Yeah, because we're at an hour and 30.
we are.
Um. So,
I mean, this. I
do
mean,
we?
this is it right here. For the most part, unless I mean, I guess now's our time, right? All Might. Are we leaving him there? Are we
Do
giving
you
All
want?
Might the
Do
S
you want
tier?
to move him up?
I'm trying to really.
Because for me right now, I can't think of reasons to move All My up
But
other
see, no,
than
I
the
don't.
fact
I
that
don't
he's
think I don't think there's. I can give him to him, right? Because for me personally, I really do think it was a missed opportunity that we really couldn't get as many mentorships moment between him and Deku as we should have with like him actually training. Even though we still got him training Deku, I don't think it wasn't in the sense of the way actually him,
Mhm.
showing him really how to use his powers for real. Because unfortunately, he lost his right. It was just
Yeah,
more bodybuilding training and things of that nature.
yeah,
But even in just more cool mentorship moments. I just wish we would have had. Yeah, leave him there. Leave him there. And then for Deku and like Shigaraki and even All for One, I think as great as I think they are, I think I do need to see the end of the series before I say I basically give them the S tier. Because once again,
that's what I was
certain
saying. Like
certain
I,
characters have different ranking priorities, right?
mhm.
Um, and due to Deku and All for One and Shigaraki being the main MC and the main villains of the series, I believe it's a little bit different, right? Like especially like with the main villains, right? To start there, um, Shigaraki doesn't really get going till season 5. Like, he had that moment in, at the beginning of the series, right? But then he doesn't really get back up until the Vigilante arc. And then, All for One, he has that moment with fighting against All Might. But then, we really don't hear much about him again until, now, right? Other than
Yeah,
that, he's been, the overall arching looming evil in the series still technically kind of right. People still have been pointing at him like, pointing to him like, him as the reason for all this mess was, it's all off one's fault, right?
mhm.
Even when he was locked up in a sense, people were still, blaming him and still, keeping an eye on him, making sure he wasn't trying to go nowhere because they knew even though he was locked up, we still got to, keep an eye on this man. Can't let this man get out of nowhere, right? Um, but ultimately, still, doesn't do much until after he gets freed and all that. So yeah, I guess keep him at A.
Yeah. Honestly, I think everyone's good where they're at.
You talked me down from the Aizawa S. I was gonna put him in S. You was gonna put. Are we gonna put Hawks in S? I don't know, man.
I could see it. I just right now, I think A is fine. Like I don't know if
Are we gonna give Mirko this? That's another question.
no. I like
No,
her a lot.
you,
I like her a
you
lot,
can't give it
but
a
I don't
S.
think I should give it as
You,
just for being a badass. I don't think.
I was about to say just for being a true badass. I'll be giving it S tier. No, you're
I
not
don't
gonna give
think.
it the S tier for that. No, okay,
Yeah,
I
I was
feel
like
you.
true. I was like a true badass can get you to A, but I don't know if it gets you to S.
Yeah, I think for a lot of these characters, we'll bump them up to S. Will be the end of the series, really, and it was really just be those first 5 you got right. Well, not
Yeah.
first 5, the first 6, right? Stopping at Shigaraki, that really
Hmm.
has a chance to go up to S, in my opinion. Maybe old boy, what's his name with Dark Shadow?
It's okay. I mean, you think he could go to S?
Tokiyami, maybe. Maybe
I
because
mean, he is out there.
I do think he is hella cool.
Yeah, I mean, he is out there technically helping them fight All for One right now. So
He is. But yeah, but definitely, like you said, like I said, the first six you got right now in A, they do have potential to be bumped up to S by this end of the series. It really just depends on how their story ends, right? At this point, in my opinion, whether or not they get the S tier.
mm.
But at this point, we're sure we're confident saying that Todoroki is our only solidified S. I didn't think that was going to happen, but Todoroki is our only
I didn't think that was
solidified
going.
S character for
I didn't
the
think that was going to
series.
happen either. But yeah, I think to be quite honest, out of all the characters, he is. I feel like for all the things that he's done, like shown, all the things they've done with him. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. I
probably.
mean, I agree. I think
And
I
it's
agree.
really, I mean, like characters that start off kind of. Well, he was an antagonist, but more so like against our protagonist. Maybe antagonist would be good. I don't know. The characters that start off like that, and then you find out that they have really well written other stuff, and they show great growth. It's hard to
Mm-hmm.
bump them down. So, like,
Okay. Well, I mean, well, all right, everybody. So, I mean, this is the tier list. Like it, love it, hate it.
it's ours.
This is ours, and we're sticking to it. We're owning it, right? Now, once again, some of the most controversial stuff on here is probably the Ochaka one. Probably people looking at this is probably like, why the fuck is Ochaka down at D? Listen, it is what it is. All right, but this is the list. And also a lot of people are probably saying, how the hell we only ended up with one in the S tier? I don't know. That's just how it turned out. With Todoroki is the sole survivor of the S tier right now, the sole holder of the S tier. He's up there holding it down by himself right now. So, I think at least for me and McMillian right now, like I said, the first six people that we have in the A tier are the only contenders that can really be bumped up to S tier at this point. It just truly just depends on how their story
Story
ends
ends.
for
Yeah,
this series.
yeah, because that's the only thing that could really hold it up for those couple. All right. Well,
And then yeah,
um,
because we got close with it. Yeah, we essentially talked ourselves down from a lot of these S tiers, but it's okay. But yeah, that's all right. It's all right. I really want to truly know what you guys think. What are you guys' thoughts and opinions on this? But yeah, go ahead and take us out of there, McMillian.
all right. Yep. So thank you all for watching. I appreciate you. If you would like to stay up to date on all things about the council, please consider following us on our social media. That is at Gurren Otaku's on Twitter and at Gurren Otaku Council everywhere else. If you'd like to, make sure you don't miss another episode or anything like that, please consider hitting the subscribe button and the bell notification so you can stay up to date on when we release these, at least on YouTube. For those watching / listening on our audio platforms, consider following the channel so you can stay up to date when we release our audio episodes. Usually come out a bit faster than our video ones.
See,
And if you've enjoyed it, please consider, like, comment in the like button, commenting, and sharing this with your friends. We really appreciate it, and it helps the channel grow. With all that being said, guys, continue to enjoy the summer season of anime. This is Gurren Otaku Council saying meeting adjourned. Peace out, everybody.